these fools just like to have parties at the back of my house. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying to nag here, bro. What the fuck is going on?
Oh,
Nah,
I heard
man.
that's actually Joveljić partying in your backyard. Is that true?
Hey, he's invited to the kindness house. That's all I know.
That's what I'm
Welcome to
talking
News Across the
about.
Galaxy. Welcome to News Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. My name is Brian, and with me we got Tony,
What up, dudes?
we got Edgar,
What's up?
and on the ones and twos, El Chuyazo.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, guys? How was your weekend? Start with
We
Edgar.
yeah, I had a medical emergency earlier today with my kid. Man, the little kids are tough as hell, man. But thank goodness they got that Wolverine healing factor. But man, this Saturday, oof, that was something else, man.
Yeah,
Gotta get up for our Serbian superhero.
yeah. Tony, how was your weekend, man?
Well, as far as today goes, I did a whole lot of nothing. Nah, just playing. Nah, dude, I just pretty much chilled aside from the Galaxy game.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome. Chuyazo?
Same man. Today just chilled. It was a good day. Did some errands and just here, chilling.
Nice, nice, nice. Aside from the game, yeah, I mean, I didn't really do much shit either because it was just one of those Sundays in a game, went to go play in the morning, then came back and just fucking slept all day to like right now. Actually, just woke up.
One of those
Nah.
Sundays where you wake up and you remember that we got the 3 points last night, and you're like, yeah,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
all good, baby.
Got that
Anyway,
dub, baby.
yesterday, what is it, April 23rd, your LA Galaxy took on the Tennessee Nashville, what's their name? SC? Soccer
SC?
Yep.
club? And well, to start it off, it was Armenian night. I don't know if you guys caught that win of that throughout the socials. We got to see a familiar face in the stadium, and Haruk Karapetyan, who's a LA Galaxy alumni. Edgar has probably more knowledge about who this man is. If you want to
Oh
get
yeah,
some more info on him.
definitely. Hadoop was one of the '96 originals. He he was a guy who's very familiar with LA soccer culture. He used to play for the LA Salsa before that, and he's definitely a local. Very talented. And he scored a great number of goals for the Galaxy during the time he was here. A very always very open to speak. Whenever I got the chance to talk to him, he was always very friendly, very open to talk. And I just remember this one story where a Galaxy was playing West Ham. It was like that was the game where Gato made his first ever debut with the Galaxy. But I remember that Zambrano was coaching the Galaxy at that time, Octavio Zambrano. And I remember the whole game went through, and Harut never got on. And I remember like talking to him afterwards in the dressing room, and he was really mad. He was like, "Oh, I'm so mad." He was like, he doesn't know that my dream was always to play against a Premier League team. And I was just like, damn. But you could see, like, this guy, his heart was always in the good place, though. He loved playing for this club. And you can see that years later, the way he shows up, he's always got a big smile. He's always willing, to talk about his time here. And he's one of those guys that he loves the badge. He still bleeds the badge. And he's always going to be a G no matter what.
Yeah, the saying still stands. Once a G, always a G.
Of course.
Pretty
I
dope.
really enjoyed that. So shout out to the Armenian community, dude. They a lot of people showed up, and
Yeah.
it was a sold out game.
Yup.
Around 26,674. I guess it's the fourth sold out game for the LA Galaxy, which is I don't want to say shocking, seeing how our team is like. Well, to me, they don't look like the contending team that we want to see them be.
I don't know, man. I
People showed
disagree.
up, and people showed up. You know what I mean? And that's shout out to everybody that showed up and was loud at the stands and all that stuff. It was really cool to see. I don't know if you guys saw anything about the stadium of any just Armenia love or anything like that.
Oh yeah. Where I sit, there was a group of there was a dance group. So a lot of young women were there.
Mm.
They were all wearing their Armenian dance group t-shirt, and they were really excited to be there. Not just because the fact that it was a theme night, celebrating Armenian culture, but just being there at the stadium and getting that vibe. It was a really good vibe at the stadium last
Yeah,
night, and uh, obviously the victory just made that even better. But I remember sitting in my seat. I sit kind of like in the northwest corner, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking up at the berm right as the game is kicking off, and I see a great number of people sitting on the berm. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a good night. This is a really good crowd. And you love to see that. You love to see when they open up the berm, and even the berm was almost filled up. It was
Oh
great.
yeah, I was sitting up in my seats at the mezzanine up top, and it was really cool to actually see the people in the burn. And I think this is one of the this is a late game that we haven't had in a while, a Saturday night game, which is really cool. Which I mean, maybe that's why people showed up, and we have another sold out game, which is awesome. I like seeing
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And I don't know if you guys knew that, but LA Riot Squad actually in the 24th minute, they held a minute of silence in memory of the 1.5 million victims of the Armenian genocide.
Oh
So I
yes,
thought that was pretty cool.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to all the Armenian fans that came out and watched the other guys play and joined us and seeing another 3 points at home. All right, boys,
Hell yeah.
let's get into this snooze fest of a game.
What are you talking
Another one.
about? As a defender, you're like, what a beautiful match to watch this defending like clinic.
I mean, it was another snooze fest, but let's go through the lineup. Of course, the man in the back, who's always there, is Jonathan Bond. Our two CBs were Derek Williams and Sega Koulibaly. Out left was Raheem Edwards. Out right, Julian Araujo. We played with a bank of four in the middle, which was Grant Sir out left, Delgado and Revolucion in the midfield, in the center, and Efrain Alvarez out right. And up top, we had our two DPs, Kevin Cabral and Chicharito. All right, guys. When this lineup came out, what was your guys' first reaction?
Well, first of all, I was driving to the stadium. I couldn't get into the parking lot, so I had to go around the stadium, and I didn't get a chance to see the lineup until I actually sat down. I finally did. I was like, "What? Efra's still here?" But because Efra's been so inconsistent. But so that was my first. I was like, "Oh, hey, they got Efra starting," and I was like, "Wow, no Sasha, no Victor Vasquez." And it made me think though, Nashville is a team that relies heavily on their defense and their midfield. So they like to counter you a lot and try to get you on set pieces. So this is a game where like you would need to really be on your horse to get going. And Sasha and Vasquez aren't exactly the quickest guys. Um,
Well,
it was nice
Vasquez
to
is
see.
injured, isn't he?
That's what I was
Pardon?
about to say. I think he did
Vasquez
pick
is
up an
injured.
injury.
Yeah, so that's why
Oh,
he
so
wasn't
you
even dressed.
okay? Well, that explains that. But still, we could have seen Sasha start, but obviously he wasn't there. He did come in later on, but um, it was nice to see Mark Delgado back on the field. And as always, Raheem Edwards has become such an indispensable part of this team. Sega continues to like make us forget last year. I heard people around me talking about him like, wow, this guy, he's pretty solid, huh? And I was like, that's not what you were saying a year ago, bastard.
And this is the thing too. I think this is him the way he's playing right now and the form that he's in is something that we wanted to see last season, and we did see it in stints before he picked up that injury. So it is nice to see him actually step up and be in some type of form. Tony, what
Yeah.
did you think about the lineup when it came out?
I thought it was good, man. I thought it's pretty much what we've been having for a cool minute now. I didn't obviously like as everybody else. I think everybody's been saying it. We want to see Joveljić more, but I wasn't surprised with the lineup we had. I guess I was a little surprised on Efrain playing there, but just like uh just like the homie said right now, like they needed speed. They needed people to be running those in the middle because if not, like they're gonna counter. They're gonna sit counter because they're just gonna defend. They're gonna play backline, and when they can, they will counter. They're literally the epitome of American soccer. That's how they play.
Yeah. One thing that didn't trip me out, but I think you've been wanting to see this formation. It's showed as a 4-4-2. When I was watching the game, it was you could see the four banks, the two banks of fours with the two up top. I think this is one of the lineups that we do want to see, but with maybe Joveljić in there instead. Right? I think this could have been an opportunity to him maybe start. I mean, at the end of the game, he did end up coming in and he got us 3 points. But let's play imagination right now. Imagine if
Or
we
or
started.
or even Costa, dude. I would have liked to see Costa start, but it's cool.
Probably not at the start with Costa, but the thing is, man, the way I see it is if we start Joveljić with Chicha, then I wouldn't want to sub in Cabral later. Not the way he's playing.
And what is it with him? Something
You know what?
is
Maybe
really
that's
off.
something that he needs though, because when we saw something similar with Efra. Efra was being very inconsistent, and then there was a. I mean, now he's starting, but whenever we needed like some quick offense, you put him in there, limited minutes. You know he's gonna go hard. He's not gonna be like, I'm gonna space it out over 90 minutes or however long I'm gonna be in there. He knows that as soon as he goes in there, he's gonna hit the ground running. So he gives it all he's got. And I mean. I mean, we saw Cabral doing some things that were interesting in this game. Like I saw him at one point run back on defense and actually stop an attack.
Mhm.
But that's very rare of him. I mean, I don't see him doing that much. That's something that I've seen Jovic do often, but that's another conversation for later on.
Yeah.
But maybe he could benefit from that. Maybe he could benefit from, just, being brought on as a sub. And that way it takes some of that pressure off of him. So he doesn't have to worry so much about performing over the long course of the game, but just, coming in and doing something quick and dirty.
Yeah, which he did at the end. But look, okay, well, the game started. The LA Galaxy opened up with a couple chances. There was one clear that I remember that Cabral had, I think
Ninth
Van
minute.
Serta put him through,
Yeah.
right? And then he kind of like toe poked it. I don't know why he toe poked it in that position. But those are the type of plays that when you're not confident, that's what happens. You just kind of hit whatever comes at you. And he had no conviction in that kick. I don't know what he was trying to hit, to be honest. It went on the side of the net. I thought it was in where I was sitting, but I don't know. Those type of plays are the shit that worries me too, because he's a DP. I know that he's young. Those are the type of plays that can build confidence for me. Like if you make that goal, or if he would touch
dude.
you with the left.
And like being a soccer player myself, dude, I honestly hate people that score with a punta. It's like, oh, don't do that. Like shoot it properly, bro.
Yeah,
Like
and,
And you know what idea I got when I saw him do that? Especially when I saw the replay later on, I felt like he was trying to finesse the ball. And I'm thinking like, dude, you spent an entire season last year trying to like do this cute little kicks into the goal, trying to place it. Just fucking shoot the ball, man. Just bury the ball into the net. Trying to finesse it. This is Nashville. They play a real dirty defense. I'm not saying that they're dirty players. I mean, their defense is nasty, right? And so any little opportunity you get where you can take a shot that can lead to a goal, take it. Don't try to be all cute with it. It's just not. You're not gonna get style points for this.
yeah, and I don't know. Everybody around him seems to be really frustrated with him. It wasn't just in that first half, even in the second half, before he got subbed out, which we'll get to later. Everybody around him just seems frustrated. He gets the chances, you know what I mean? They put him in space where he could be successful, and he's just not
he
putting him back in
sh-
the net how he needs to.
he shoots literally the same way he plays. And the answer is he shoots like a really soft ass, like soft, bro.
Soft noodle.
Yeah,
That's
he's
messed
just
up, man.
he's soft.
You know what? Where I was sitting, there was like actually an entire row of people behind me, and they were talking about him. And at one point, they're like the wet noodle, and I knew who the hell they were talking about. And they were all laughing, and they're like, "Ha the wet noodle, the wet noodle." And when he got off, they stood up and like clapped, and I was like, "Damn."
Damn.
I was thinking to myself, the last time I remember like people getting up and standing and doing an ovation when somebody gets subbed off was at one time where um oh my God, Alan Gordon, was playing really bad with the Galaxy. It was during his first stint, and somebody had kicked him in the face, like a ball, like went up in his face and broke his nose. And he was at the first 5 minutes of the game. And as he was being subbed out, the crowd gave a standing ovation because they didn't want to see him on the field. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh,
I think
poor
this is
Cabral.
what-
He's getting different everything.
This is
Go
the
ahead,
second
Jamal.
time he gets booed off the field, right?
Oh man.
I think
Are you
I didn't.
I know we talked about it once with Eddie on the podcast, and I believe this time, I know I kind of mentioned to you about it, Bryant, but you said you didn't hear it. But I know I don't know if you guys heard it. If you guys heard it when he was getting booed off when he was subbed.
We should wait for the second half, bro. Talk about it.
Before before we go into that, it's I'm not the kind of person. I've never the kind of person to boo one of our players, and I've said that before. During our podcast, I don't like booing our guys because it's hard enough to go out there and try to perform at a professional level. Obviously, he's got a lot of pressure on him. But he's a young guy. He's impressionable, and people are like, well, I pay good money to to go to the stadium and be an ass and boo and throw beer or whatever. But no, I don't like booing our guys. I mean, if he doesn't do well, then just don't do anything at all. His teammates, his coach, they'll figure it out. He knows he's not doing well. Um, I mean, you could groan and you could be like, damn it, I'm disappointed with you, but booing the guy, I don't know. That's just not part of my playbook.
Nah,
Well,
just
before we get too deep into the Cabral thing,
hey, do
let's talk
what we
about a little
do.
bit
Start
the
a
first half.
podcast and nag about it.
Well, let's talk
Yeah,
about this
right.
first half. What are a couple of things that you guys saw that you guys actually liked from that first half?
Possession. That's what I liked.
Yeah,
Control.
definitely.
Control the like
Um,
I wasn't worried at all about the of getting scored on. I felt like we were owning the game, we were controlling the pace, we were controlling every single aspect of the game, dude. And the way we were playing, even in the first half, like I know there was no goal or anything, like nothing happened, but we had our chances, and I felt like if as long as we keep playing the same way and going into the second half, eventually we were gonna land a goal. It was gonna come.
yeah, and that first half possession stat is 58-41 in favor of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did like seeing though in that first half is just the synergy that Williams and Koulibaly have in that back line, dude. Uh, this is the pairing that we've been wanting to see be at its best, and we all thought here that this could be one of the best center back pairings in this league. And I think yesterday in that first half, dude, just the way they were cutting off Mukhtar, they weren't letting nobody pass them through anything, and they didn't really have much to scare us with. Sapong was getting punked all day by Koulibaly,
Yep.
and it was I like to see that. That was really good.
That
Well,
was solid, man.
no, it's absolutely correct. One of the things about Nashville going in, and a lot of people, and I'll get this out of the way right now, because a lot of people are gonna be like, "Wow, we got the clean sheet," but we got the clean sheet against Chicago, we got the clean sheet against San Diego. There's three shutouts in a row, in all across all competitions. But I was thinking to myself, one, Chicago doesn't score a lot of goals. That's just who they are. It's just how they play. San Diego, was missing four of their best players. I know it's a USL team, but they're supposed to be one of the better ones, and they're missing four of their best players, and that really hurt them. And it was still 1-0 game. It was a hard-fought victory for the Galaxy. And then this game, Nashville relies heavily on they have a very good defense, one of the best defenses in MLS, and their midfield is solid too. The drawback is they have very weak forwards. CJ Sapong is not in his prime anymore.
Yeah.
And after that, who do you have coming off the bench? What, Zubac? He was literally there in a corner, subbing, and they never brought him in. I mean, um, think about that for a second. A team that has Zubac as one of their backup forwards, and that's how weak they are at that position, that he's an option to come in. And so, but the one thing that where Nashville can really hurt you is on counters. And that's what I mentioned earlier about the whole thing about having guys that can, be able to keep up with that. And they tried that throughout the first half, but like Tony was saying, that, they were bodying them, they're making it uncomfortable for them to try to get any kind of counter going. And Bondi was pouncing on balls and coming out before anything got too serious, cutting off angles or just reading the ball very well. So that way things didn't get out of control and he'd have to like backtrack and try to stop something or a chip. So that's very good. Our defense is coming together against a team that isn't really held for their defense. I mean, for their attack. But hey, you got that, that first half locked down. Let's see how we keep it going in the second half.
Yeah, I feel that this formation. I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed like we were getting a lot more chances in that first half, right? But just throughout the game in general. Um, how'd you guys see the two center mid pairings without a cam? It was just basically Mark Delgado and Revolution. What you guys think about them in the first half?
I mean, given on the fact that the team that we were playing and the way that they play, it was perfect for them because they could cover that spot pretty good, dude. Delgado was I thought Delgado probably had like one of like his best games that I've seen. He was doing pretty good, dude. He was solid. His passes were on point. He wasn't losing balls. He was tracking back. Same thing with Veruson. Like, I thought they were doing good. I honestly didn't see any worries, dude, in the whole game. Like, I didn't think we were gonna get scored, and if we did, I would have felt like that was a freak accident or something. Like, that's just literally like a defensive fuck up. It would have gotten scored on. But
Which is
luckily,
something that we're prone to do a lot.
exactly. But it didn't happen, dude. And like I was never worried. I never thought like anything was gonna happen. Like I said, as long as we keep playing the same, just controlling the game, moving it side to side, opening up, running, overlapping the players, eventually something was gonna happen. We just needed that right pass or maybe that right shot. Because if we didn't, like, the times when I felt like we should shoot, they tried to pass, and the times when they should pass, like, they fucking shot.
Yeah. Nah, I agree with that. It just, I don't know. I think our wing play was also pretty solid in this game. One in particular who I thought had a good game. He probably won't win an award from me this time around. I think Efra with the start. Uh, I think he had a solid performance. I like him on the wing. I know there's other people, and I hear all the other pods that like his spot should be in the cam. But I personally like him in the wing. I don't know how you guys saw his gameplay this time around.
I noticed that I was paying attention to him because, like I said, I was just a little surprised to see him start again.
Mhm.
But I noticed that he was doing fine. But Nashville, they're very smart on, like I said, on defense. And I noticed that every time that he would try to get into a position where he could maybe make a pass or take a shot, they closed in on him and forced him to go to his right. And obviously, Efra is not comfortable with that, and that's how they were able to keep the rein on him. Otherwise, he had a pretty solid game, considering how he's done, earlier in the season.
Mhm.
But Nashville was smart enough to try to limit his attack from the left side. So credit to them. I mean, obviously, it's something that Galaxy has to deal with. The fact that Efra is so heavy, left-footed,
Predictable.
but yeah, predictable. I mean, that's just how he is. But a guy when you let him slip, he makes you pay with that left foot, right? But Nashville wasn't. They're not the kind of team to give up those kind of chances.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they only
and
had he only had like one or two good shots. I mean, it ended up not being on goal, but he was really close to frame. I mean,
in the
Oh
second
yeah,
half,
the
they
he hit the
yeah
post.
they didn't let him
didn't
slip all
they
that often.
wait in second? It was in second half. One of his shots hit the post, right? But
Yeah, second
that
half,
was
second
later
half.
on. Yeah.
Uh, well, in this first half, seeing how we didn't have a cam, I kind of liked how Efra was playing there because he was able to cut in,
Hmm.
and there was nobody taking up that space, and it worked well with this formation. And the first half, I don't know, the team looked really good in that first half, even though
I,
we didn't score.
Yeah, one
I,
of the things that I was kind of noticing was Grand Sur going into the middle as well, kind of like where Efra either would be or would not be. I'm sorry, if Efra wouldn't be there, you would see Grand Sur cutting into that middle position, which was actually very interesting for me to see that. So nice.
You were gonna say Tony
what Efra was playing on what side? He was on
on the right side.
the right, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I personally love him playing on the right side, dude. I think it's like a good fit for him because he could run the wing, and like there was, I
Good
mean, so
left.
many opportunities where he could shoot. He had the opportunities to shoot, but I could tell that he's like, fuck, I don't think I should shoot because these motherfuckers want the ball. Like,
Yeah.
Chicha's gonna bitch at me if I don't give him the ball right now. Kind of shit. So I felt like, but he had the chances, and like having him on that side, I feel like he's gonna get the shots eventually, and it, every time, if not most of the time, he's gonna always make, like, most of the time make it. I think he has a great shot, dude, and he almost made a goal, dude, but hit the post. But I honestly like him in that spot, and like, dude, even the when who was it, fucking the dude playing the RB, fucking
Julian?
yeah, Julian Araujo, dude. Fucking overlapping, dude. Fuck. I'm brain farting, bro. Fucking
You good?
Julian Araujo overlapping, dude. He was giving good balls, dude. Like, they had the right opportunities, but personally from that side, I felt like Araujo, he just needs to like work on his touching on the final third.
I
Because he,
mean,
he had so many good passes, like so many good chances, but his passes were just like, eh.
Well,
it's
No.
it's a good thing. Sorry, Julia, I cut you off. I'll let you finish your thought right now. But it's before I forget, uh, Tony brings up a good point about Araujo. Is like we haven't seen the best of Araujo obviously this year, and
Mhm.
this game, it seemed to me that he did better than he has been. Um, but there's still something there that's missing. It's still not clicking. I don't know I don't know how to put my finger. I mean, this it's just I don't know how to describe it. There's just something that it's just off with him. I don't know if it might be maybe he has an injury. A lot of times, teams don't say that, or maybe he's just not up to form yet, and but because of his name, the weight that his position carries and how important he's been to the team, they keep putting him out there and hoping that things start to click. But it just seemed to me like he's still not all there yet. What do you think, Joey?
Um, Honestly, I don't think it's not that he's not all there yet. One of the things that I'm starting to notice this season is that he's we're using him as a defender a lot more than any other year. Because I mean, his position is a defender, but he's usually a winger. If you really think about it, he runs up the wing,
Yeah.
he passes to Chicha, runs up the wing, makes a play, passes to the middle. That's his play style. What we've seen in the past years, right? And this year, he's been needing to be. We've needed him to be that defender because Edwards is being that winger. He's being that attacking defender that Julian was. And I think Julian hasn't gotten used to staying back, not running, not being the first man to take the ball up. And I think that's we're seeing his lack of defense per se. Cuz he can run back. He can run back and make a tackle, but what if you just stay back? Okay, now we're having issues with you staying back. And I think that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a thing that he's not used to because we haven't needed him to do that for years.
But is he being used? I mean, is it just Raheem Edwards exclusively, going on the overlaps, or is Julian also getting some of that? Are they having to share the load? Do you think? Because in the
It's
past, it was mostly Julian, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like it was mostly Julian because Julian was like the only one that could run up and down. We'd had nothing but old men or shitty fucking Arby's for like a good minute. But now that we have honestly Edwards, dude, like to me, Edwards has been like the one of my best favorite players every game for like the past, I don't know, fucking 5, 6 games, dude. Like I think he's one of the top players in the fucking team for the position that he plays. And he's literally setting the example for any other fucking RB or left back, you know? So I think Araujo sees that and he's like, all right, like fuck, if this fool's running, I can't be a little bitch and not run back, you know? So I
No,
like yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, what's the guy's name that we have that's injured? No, not
Villafana.
Villafana. Yeah. So if you think about it, Villafana when he was starting, when he was playing, he's more of that defender that'll stay back, right? He won't do that run. He won't go up. He won't be that winger style player. He will be that defender style player more than anything. So Julian was still that runner. Okay, run, go up, go up, go up, and then run back. Now, like I said, like now it's Edwards is running up, running up, running up. So Julian, you kind of have to stay back. You can't be up there at the same time Edwards is up there and then just leave two people defending.
Yeah, especially with our two center backs who are not. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say they're not that pacey because Koulibaly has shown bursts
Yeah,
of
but
speed.
at the same time, you don't want to just leave him alone with
Yeah, you don't wanna-
Depew or
yeah.
with Derek or with whoever. Like you don't want to just leave those two people back there.
No.
But, I mean, to the whole thing that Edwards is our leading assist man. I think he probably gets the okay push up a little bit more because he is our leading assist man. Maybe it's that. At first half, huh? 0-0.
we got him right. That's what I thought was like we got him right by the neck, bro. Like we just gotta knock him out right now.
Yes, they didn't
Yeah.
put us in any danger. They didn't.
I
seem
honestly
to
thought like goals were
try to
gonna
do
come
anything.
in back to back. I honestly thought like once second half starts, oh, we got their number. They already know how they're gonna push those goals, and I thought we were gonna have like back to back goals pretty quickly.
I was in the minority, guys. Sorry, because like I said, I really pay attention to the way that Nashville was set up, and the whole time I was thinking, especially coming out of halftime, I was thinking to myself, the way these two guys are playing each other, whoever scores first is gonna win because um, all Nashville needs to do is get a goal on a set piece or a counter, and they're gonna shut down like the Pentagon. They're gonna lock it down. They're not gonna let anything else get through. And Galaxy, if they score a goal, Nashville just doesn't have the chops to try and score one back without leaving themselves vulnerable at the back. So I was thinking to myself, man, this has become one of those situations where like the first one to flinch is gonna lose. And then as the half unfolded, it became like increasingly frustrating because Galaxy really started to pile on the pressure. Most of the play was in Nashville's half, and as the half wore on, it became more and more frustrating because you could see Galaxy was just plugging away and plugging away and plugging away, and everything they did, it just wasn't working until
Hey
We'll
now
get
guys,
it's
there.
happening.
We'll get
wait, something that we didn't even touch, guys, in the first half. Did you
Yes.
guys think? Did you guys think that was a freaking penalty?
Oh, shit.
Handball? Or which one?
No, it was no, man. They dropped Cabral, dude. They literally, to me, they kicked him,
Oh,
and he should have. I should have been a penalty, dude.
yeah,
Like, didn't
Cabral. Yeah, you're right. Cabral doesn't strike me as the type of guy to like take a dive. It's just not in his DNA, you know. And for him to like trip and fall like that, I was like, no. And when I saw the replay, I was like, yeah, it looked like he nicked them. Hey, I thought that was.
to me that looked like a penalty, dude. I don't know if you guys have seen the replays or whatnot,
Oh
but
no, you're absolutely correct. I think they should have, you know,
they
at
did. They
least kind of
did.
checked.
I
The
think
thing
they
is,
did VAR it.
man, the
I
thing
think they
is, at
did.
this point, even though we make fun of Wet Noodle, I think the league knows him as, you know, somebody that can't take a hit. So I think they just don't take him serious when it comes to like a hit.
I don't know if you
Or-
guys saw it, but he was going in, and then they stole the ball, and then he came from behind, kicked the ball first, and the other guy just came from behind and kicked him in the leg. And I'm like, dude, like
Should have been a PK.
that
yeah,
should have been a
It should-
penalty.
yeah, but again, dude, you get that reputation of going down easy. They're not gonna really look into it that much whenever you go down easy again.
I mean, he's easy to to boss around in the box, but I feel like I said, he's not the type of person to me to do that. I've never seen him take a dive. You know, usually if you hit him, he falls down. You know, he's just easy to
Even,
knock
dude,
down.
even like the commentators, dude, when I watched it over again, the Kobe Jones, dude, and Joe, they were like, they pretty much said it like that should have been a freaking penalty, dude. Like,
And
like they were trying to justify the refs' decisions, dude, and then they were like just like, yeah, they just stopped because they knew they couldn't. Like, it was kind of weird.
Oh, you're right about that. Well,
Yeah,
we
good
went
point.
0-0 into the half, and then the second half started, and we got a sub pretty early actually. Not sure if it was
it was
to
Grand
give this
Sir.
player rest. Yes, at the 58th minute, Samuel Grandsir came out for Douglas Costa. Not sure if he picked up a knock or anything, but I felt it was pretty early. I don't know how you guys saw that.
I was surprised. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Oh, now I was just gonna mention the fact that when he got subbed out, it seemed like he was a little bothered.
Yes,
He
that's
seemed like he was a
exactly
little
what I
like
was gonna say.
it
That
seemed like he was a little mad, like fuck, like like really, like you're gonna take me out. But he didn't like he kept it professional, like obviously, but like his gestures made me seem like yeah, this dude's
Yeah.
bothered.
I
But
don't think it was anything personal towards the guy.
no,
But
of
honestly,
course not.
he's not the starter. It's Costa, right? Costa's gonna be the starter. He's gonna be a sub, and I think we're seeing the transition back of Costa starting, right? Like next game, I wouldn't be surprised Costa starts. Grandsir's on the bench, and this was just all right. You're gonna get some minutes. He's gonna relax for a bit, and then we're gonna put him in. But he's the starter. It's not Grandsir.
yeah,
I mean,
it's an uncomfortable thing to have to, like you said, Julie. It's uncomfortable because um we know what a healthy, you know, oh my God,
Costa,
it not Costa. I'm sorry.
Sir?
Grandsir.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I had a brain fart. we
Tony,
we
you're
know
contagious, bro.
yeah, Tony. Must have been something at that show, right? No, we know what a healthy concern can contribute to the team, and we admire every day he goes in there, he busts his ass, he's running hard after balls. You know, he makes a big difference. And Tony is absolutely correct. They subbed him out. I looked at him. His body language, he did not look happy. He was actually glaring at the bench, but he kept it professional. You know, but you could tell that he was thinking to himself, I have so much more to give.
Yeah, he wasn't
But
having a bad game.
it was bad. Yeah, he had a bad game, dude. So it was
think so?
right for yeah. He had a bad game, bro. I thought he gave away too many balls. He was trying, but he was just his passes were on point. Like he was just not playing good,
mean,
bro.
I mean,
He's
he
definitely
did-
played better.
He did have a really good
It-
pass in the 6th minute towards Cabral, where Cabral blocked
Yeah,
it.
that was
But
that was about it.
Yeah, that was about it.
But it could also be that Nashville just had his number on the night. Like I said, they specialize on defense, and they're familiar with Grand Sur, and taking him out, you bring in somebody that they're not familiar with, which is Costa, and he's a DP, so obviously you got to give him some minutes. He can't, Jesse starters him, so.
Greatest right back of all time, baby.
He's down with Colorado. Oh shit.
Ah, damn, for real. Nah, it was. I agree with you guys. That was pretty early, or maybe the face that you saw in Grand Sir is him just being frustrated.
Nah,
You said,
I think what Edgar said is true. That they had his number, dude, and he was just. You could tell he was kind of like not frustrated, but it was just he wasn't playing good, bro. Like at all, he wasn't playing good, and I think it was a perfect time to sub him, especially when our wait, is Costa the DP?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's time we have to put our DP in there, bro.
Yeah, he's a
Definitely.
DP, bro. Welcome to News Across the Galaxy. But as soon as Costa came in, I think he had an immediate impact, didn't he?
No, he had a
Yeah.
shitty game too. I think he had a shitty game.
I mean, Costa is he's just coasting along, I guess you could say, if you want to do a play on his name. He did have that one set piece though, where from where I was sitting, I could have sworn that thing went in, and I got up and I cheered, and then like a second later, I realized how stupid I looked. But
Right over the bar, dude. Right over.
right over the bar. I mean, he hits that like just off like a degree or two, and that would have gone in. There's nobody stopping that, but it was a nice jolt. It was a good. It was like I think that was the highlight of him coming in more than
Yep.
anything. He didn't really contribute much. He's there. He's just
Don't get
there.
me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like the guy was trying. You could tell he was trying. He was he was trying, dude. Like he was for it. But every time he would try, like the passes were either not where they were supposed to. He was overpassing it. He was instead of shooting, he'd take the pass and like it was just the chemistry, I guess, between him and like the other players. I feel like it's still not there. I think it's still developing it, and I feel like it needs to get better. Eventually, it will, but eventually, like they still don't read each other. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it was Cabral or even when he was playing with Efra or even with Chicha, like I felt like it was just in clicking. Like it wasn't, he wasn't reading like, oh, this is when I'm running or you know what I mean? He would try, but it wasn't on point.
And that's why we need him to get minutes, right? We need that mesh to happen. We need him to get used to these players. So unfortunately, it's Grand Sir who's taking the end of the stick, right? But that's
Yeah.
the DP's
Well, that sub
Nah.
was made, and then it was pretty much the same as the first half. We had a lot of possession, a lot of shots, just none of them were going in. And I think the other guys was starting to get frustrated with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
To add to that, I'm gonna point out how Nashville was playing because you go back and you watch either the replay or the highlights, you'll notice this. The way Nashville plays their defense, and credit to them because they got this down to a science, is that as soon as anybody gets with that last third of the field, they immediately push two people up to cut off any angle you have towards making a pass into the box or towards out to the wingers, and they force you to either pass the ball back or have to run with the ball and expend some energy while your guys just stand around trying to like look for position. And I noticed that they did that every single time. Anybody got to the top of the box, two guys come in immediately, cut them off, and they have the speed and they stack them so deep that they're able to get away with that. And that makes it so frustrating because I mean Galaxy hasn't had a really good time of scoring goals. In the season when we do get them, we celebrate them really loud, obviously. But it's frustrating because you're like, damn, we have so much possession, and we've gotten our shots, and we just haven't gotten them in. And these guys are doing everything to try to shut you down and cut you off. And you go back and you look at it, that's what they were doing. And after a while, you start to wonder, damn, is that goal gonna come? Is that goal gonna happen? You need a little bit of chaos in there, a little bit of some ship action, and
Yeah. And then you ask, you shall receive. Minute 77,
yes.
Kevin Cabral comes out. One Dejan Joveljić comes in. And man, the balls that this kid plays with, man. He runs so hard at every play. I just love his energy. As soon as he came in, just the energy that he brings was spectacular.
Hold on.
Did you guys see it?
I gotta say this though too about the whole Cabral situation. Like, if you're one of the people that boos him when he's coming off, like, don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't like that. That's not. You're not supporting the team, bro. You're shooting down your own arm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cool.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
And we'll get into Cabral a little bit more, but I didn't hear any of those boos. Everybody that was sitting around me was just like, "Oh, about time," but I didn't hear no boos.
Yeah. Um, it's funny, like I mean, not to talk about Joveljić is I mentioned to you guys earlier, like he was warming up and he came up, to get subbed in, and this lady behind me was like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's our Serbian, our Serbian assassin, Dejan Joveljić." I was like, he always carries a little shiv in his pocket, and when nobody's looking, he's like, "Yeah, I have it," and that's how gets by people and scores goals.
Oh.
And she's like, "So he's gonna ship some people?" I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna ship everyone."
Also, there's a rumor on Joveljić.
What is
Oh,
it?
I
Oh.
hear that Dejan Joveljić eats raw human meat before a match.
damn! That's what happened
Damn.
to those levas, right?
Shout out to Toon. What is it? Toon LA Old Guard.
Nice.
For, that rumor. Beautiful rumor, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, he's Chuck Norris's long lost son.
His
One
Serbian
of
law
The
son.
Serbian
it's one of
son.
those black ops that Chuck Norris did in East Europe.
Yeah. And then he comes in, gives us great energy, but it's still much of the same. Actually, with a lot of possession, nothing really happening. I think Efra hit that post before, Dejan was the hero, and
Yeah.
it just seemed like the LA Galaxy they were really frustrated, especially Chicha. I know he likes, he asks for the ball a lot, and deservedly so. He's our leading scorer. He needs to get the ball. It's just I don't know what it was that nobody was trying. We couldn't put him through. Costa was a little off, I guess, and yeah, it was just one of those games that I felt like, man, we're gonna close off Armenian night with a tie at home, which is not bad. You want those 3 points,
Yeah.
especially in a late Saturday game like that with the hype of everything. The stadium was full, everybody was having a good time.
A lot of
You want to
alcohol.
walk out with a win.
I was really worried at that point, to be honest, because I felt like Galaxy's, they were pushing numbers and they were really pushing to get anything going. And I was thinking, this is totally playing into Nashville's style, where all they need is to just, stop a shot, pass the ball out to the wing, and start a counter, and boom, goal. And once they do, game over. Um, but I was looking at Costa too, and I was thinking to myself, like, do something besides, that was a good shot he took earlier, but do something else. And I just, to add to the whole Costa thing, I just feel like he hasn't really gotten a grip of the kind of energy that you need in MLS. Like there's a certain speed at which it's played, and a lot of guys coming from Europe will tell you it's a lot more athletic. What a lot of times they mean is like it has a higher pace than people expect. They think,
Mm.
oh, it's America. They're not very skilled. They're not going to play it, to a quick, form. Maybe the passes, maybe the shooting isn't as quick as, but the athleticism is there. And so these guys are fast. And I feel like Costa hasn't still gotten a grip of that. He needs to get up to speed and be able to move at that pace. And that way you're going to see him open up more. But I don't know if it's if it's who he is. Um,
I mean,
but
but
then go ahead.
that's the main reason. That's the main reason why he's not starting. Because I'm pretty sure Vanny sees that like he's not up to par with everybody else or the league, for that matter. So that's why I think that's the reason why he hasn't gotten the full minutes or whatever it is. Because it's like nope, like he's not ready.
He is coming off an injury as well,
Yeah.
so maybe just trying to limit his time. And this is another thing. I mean, totally off topic, but you go get a DP winger who's injury prone instead of getting an actual position where we need it. Right?
Um,
I mean, we sound like a broken record. We say shit every time.
um,
And it
I still
shouldn't
want
have
to see
been.
him. I still want to see him in the camp spot though. Like even just for just give me 20 minutes of it, and if it doesn't work, put him back to the wing, bro. But I want to see it, man. I want to see it.
I mean, I think we saw a little bit of it in Chicago. It wasn't really like him at the cam. It was him right next to Chicha, another 4-4-2. And it seemed in that game where he did score that offside, I mean, it looked like they were in sync in those plays. So maybe, put him in the middle. We see a little bit more creativity. But whatever. We were all frustrated. And then, minute 86. Julian Araujo crosses the ball into the box. There's a scramble in there. Eric Williams is channeling his inner Raheem Edwards. Gives one Dejan Joveljić a pass. The man that eats other humans scores for the LA Galaxy. Let's fucking go.
The place erupts, bro.
Little
Place.
tunnel under Romney, right?
yeah,
In between Romney's
I,
ears.
It
Yep.
was a nice little pass too, a pass into open space. Joveljić. Uh, I don't know if he could have maybe stepped forward a little bit, but he didn't. He knew where he was going to place the ball, far post. Completely tunnel over, under Romney, and beautiful goal. It place erupts like you guys said, but what I really, really enjoyed was that celebration
Yes.
because we have seen him jump into the stands, but man, credit to Lars for bringing him up there to Samoa Bob and the other guy. I forgot his name. I'm sorry,
Mike.
Mike.
but
Mike.
Mike.
Awesome, Mike.
But man, they had this. Well, I don't know how heavy he is, but they pulled him up there, and man, it was like a mosh pit in the capo box. Man,
Yeah,
you love to
everybody
see
going up
that.
to him, dancing
True.
with
Hey,
him.
Chew had like he was right there. He was on TV, dude. He was
Hell yeah.
famous. How was
Hell
it?
yeah.
How was your experience when he scored, bro?
Oh, dude, it was amazing. I mean, the whole mood. We never like it wasn't bad. It was going the whole game, right? But the fact that we were 0-0, it's like okay, we haven't gotten better. We just kind of like are stale or are in the same spot. And then that goal came, dude, crazy. Like it just erupted. We all wanted it. The whole stadium wanted something.
Yeah.
And then this dude just running up, like running over there, grabbing onto these guys and just bringing them up. Oh my god! Like the whole area right there erupted. It just went
You were
crazy.
like 2 feet away, right?
Yeah, dude, I was literally on right outside the couple box. Like I was in the row right behind the couple box. Dude, it's
And
crazy. It was
That
fucking
celebration.
crazy.
I
it
love that
wasn't just
celebration.
a goal, but this is the celebration that we needed because, like I said, there was so much pent up frustration, and then you get this goal against this tough defense, and damn, you don't just pump your fist and walk back to the center, no, you gotta celebrate and stop. This guy ripped his shirt off. He went up there. He started
Yeah.
shivving everybody, in the riot squad. He shipped another guy, getting back to the field. Then they shipped Chicharito at the end. I mean, damn. Something I mentioned on Twitter about him. I love his energy, and the interview he had with Nikki K after, you could tell how much he really genuinely has bought into the culture of this team because he mentions the fans. You could tell he loves the crest. This is somebody you want to keep here for a long time because he's still young. He's gonna get better. He's gonna develop, and I see him as the heir to Chicharito in that position. Hopefully, he
Mm.
has the patience to stick around long enough because I think we're going to see great things from him if he continues to develop like he is.
Well,
And
I
and
actually got a couple quotes before you go, Tony. Let me get these couple quotes out from the man himself.
yes, sir.
Leon Jovic says, I was so, no, wrong one. Oops. The best feeling in the world is when you score. That's something that you cannot describe. You just need it. He also says, I don't want to say that I'm frustrated, but I'm not satisfied because I'm not playing. I know the show is getting finished, and indeed was what? And indeed was that we're good. I know that in my position is the best striker in the league. Talking about Chicha. I'm going to have little minutes alongside him, but I need to wait for my chance. And tonight I showed that I need more than 5 minutes. End quote. Which he did. I think all of us have been clamoring for some Jovic action for a long
Hey,
time.
patience, Padawan. Your time will come.
Yeah, and he got us the win. And before the game ended, uh, there was a boneheaded move
Oof,
Chicharito did
Oh,
on Dave
Chicha.
Romney.
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah, that was really dangerous.
I don't think he meant it, dude. If he fucked up, he shouldn't have done that. Like
Yeah,
he should have just not gone for the plague, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, there was no need
Tony.
for him to like go under him. Like not at all.
But
Just don't.
I just think
Yeah,
Romney over jumped higher than what he thought he was gonna jump, and he's like, oh fuck, and then he just couldn't avoid it. You know, he fucked him up.
yeah. I absolutely. You guys are absolutely correct. The one thing people were saying, like, oh, some people were defending Chicha, and I was like, well, yeah, Chicha's not a malicious person. He's not gonna go out there and normally harm someone.
Yeah,
However,
no.
you gotta pump the brakes. I mean, that's on their end of the field. It's not like you're fighting for a ball in the box, on a corner or a set piece. Um, and Romney, he's just trying to keep Chicha from getting to the ball and and adding to the score. He went up to get the high header, and man, Chicha low bridged him, and uh, I know he's playing for Nashville, but Romney's a former G, and we all like him, and I'm glad he didn't get hurt seriously because that could have seriously he could have landed, snapped his arm,
Yeah, that could have been an easy dislocated
hyper
shoulder.
dislocated shoulder. He could have
Easy.
broken his collarbone. I mean, any number of injuries. But he's a tough dude. There was some shoving afterwards, and Chicha, he knows what he did. And
Chicha didn't say nothing. He just walked
Yeah,
away. Like
yeah, he
I
just
know I fucked up. Like I fucked up. What am I
Chicha
gonna
likes to
say,
talk.
dude?
Yeah,
Like,
Chicha likes to talk and argue, and he didn't even open his mouth. He just looked at him like fuck, like
yeah, like I
like,
fucked
my
you
bad.
up, bro.
I just gotta
Yeah.
take it. I just gotta take whatever at this point, because
I mean, and then obviously came the sub. I mean, it's important to protect your player. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Nashville got their receipt later on Sasha because he took a hard
Oh yeah,
tackle.
I do remember
I
that.
think that was the receipt right there for
Yeah,
that
hell yeah.
that hit. So
Being on the old
Sasha,
man.
poor Sasha, a
Yo,
very
guys,
respected, wily veteran. Man, he
and,
took the hit.
something I wanted to say too about the when Joveljić scored the goal, dude. The way the team celebrated, like, look, I literally watched the replay and I looked at every single person in the field, and I watched their reactions towards the goal, dude. And like you could tell, like everybody was fucking livid about that goal. Like I don't know, man. It makes me happy to see them react like that. That it doesn't matter who scores as long as we score and we win, like we're good. Because it really, really, really seems like it's more like of a family setting at this point. It seems like they're more of a family than just a soccer team.
yeah,
If
Yeah.
that even makes
and
sense.
it was really cool, man. I was looking back at a lot of the videos that were taken, right, and posted, and like the majority of the team went up to the riot squad area, kind of waiting for him for a good little while, and this dude stayed up top for it was a good minute. It felt like. And like the team is like celebrating with themselves, with Chicha, everybody, and they keep looking up like, when the fuck is this guy gonna come back down?
I think
Everybody,
at
kinda,
one point
everybody goes
where he
back to
was
their
through a
spots.
chair.
I know.
I think he did. I think he didn't know how to get off. So he's like, "Fuck, I guess I'm here for a cool minute."
Nah, Maurito didn't want to let him go. It was like, Maurito, you're married, bro. Like,
Yeah. Shout out to
He's
Marito. I'm hugging that fool.
maybe Jovic was up there like, hey, where's Hadoop? Maybe celebrate with him.
no, but
Um,
if you
Beautiful.
guys noticed, Chicha waited for him until he got
Yep.
down, and then this guy put his
It was-
jersey back on, and then like, hey, Chicha, let's celebrate, and they do the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, this hell yeah.
Yeah, that was
great.
cool. That was really cool to see.
That was a very alpha wolf thing to do, by the way. The alpha wolf always waits for everybody to go ahead of him before he follows the pack. And
Right.
I saw it and I was like, you know what? That's so cool. That's when this guy's a true leader. He waited for his guy to come back. He didn't leave him behind. He waited for him to get back to the pack and celebrated with him. And there was something else I was going to mention. It slipped my mind. I don't remember it later on, but
Well, you know what I was gonna say though,
Oh.
the celebration itself though, I thought it was pretty cool because Chicha did the whole, the surfer freaking finger thing,
Yeah.
and then Joveljić did the guns though, but with the same dance.
It's like it's something. There's something there with their
and
what do you call it?
Yeah,
Chemistry.
Joveljić is a fan of Chicha. He said it. He loves the fact that he's playing with one of his idols, dude. Like that's
Yeah, no, and I think Chicha gives him his props too.
You
When
know
he
what?
got subbed out, nobody's had another shot on goal.
oh yeah, Chicha
And-
even went up. He's like, oh
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, like he's really happy for him. I like that shit.
Hey, that was actually a pretty good shot. It was straight. It was straight, but it was still a good shot.
Yeah. There's something else I wanted to mention. I remember right now was that it's so refreshing to see such a wonderful goal celebration compared to what we got during the week. Because I don't want to shit on Cabron, I don't want to power on him, but that was just like such a blah goal, right, against San Diego. And then after he scores, he's just like, whatever,
Okay.
just like walk back. And I'm like, dude, just score the goal. It's like do your little thing or whatever the heck you're doing now, instead of just like looking around like you accidentally took a crap on in the field or something. He scored a goal.
There's something that this kid needs to fix, dude. I know he has a skill, dude. I still believe in him. He's really having a rough time out here right now, and it
Maybe
sucks
he's
to see, dude.
homesick.
He
Could
can't
be
be
that too.
homesick. I mean, he's got his brother. He's got his French buddies here. Maybe he's missing his mom's ratatouille. Who knows, man?
Maybe. Anyway, boys, the game ends in a 1-0, and we all leave happy.
Yes.
Now,
sure.
you guys want to do awards or questions?
Let's
do
do
questions.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
Do questions first. All right, let's go to Instagram. Logan Jones. I think I can say we need a cam. Damn.
Mm.
Was it that noticeable?
Really? Nah, we're with you, Logan. It's
Yep.
100%.
Well, at least
Um,
I would like to try. Uh, uh, I would like to
Costa.
try the Brazilian in the middle, bro. Yeah, Costa in the
Costa?
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least try it.
he also says, I can say we're all done with Cabral. I heard booze. So I guess there was booze.
Mm.
He also
I'm not.
says, please play 4-4-2 with Dayon and Chicha. It's obviously showed that it works.
Probably not gonna happen. Not as a starting duo.
Yeah, that's crazy. Ryan Munoz says, fourth shutout in 8 games. Our defense is looking solid. Yes, they are.
Mm.
Hey, man, we got the Basham brothers in the back, bro.
Let me.
Is our
Let,
defense solid or is their offense is not that good?
no. That's what I said earlier. Remember, I said how like um Chicago's not a high scoring team.
Nope.
That's a shutout. San Diego, they're a USL team missing four of their best players. That was a shutout. Nashville's known for their defense, not their forwards. It's a shutout. And then before that, it was against Levas, and that was a 2-1 game. That was like a battle.
Hey,
And then before
but
that, it
that's
was
a hey,
Portland.
hold up. That's a high scoring team, dude, and we stopped and we only got one on us. So you
Oh
got to
yeah,
give them
Well, I
credit,
mean,
though.
I don't know if
no,
they're a
gotta
high
give him
scoring
credit.
team after today. What was it, 2-1 from what I saw in my fantasy shit?
Yeah, they barely beat Cincinnati. So, but um, don't I mean, on one hand, you're winning games, right? You're winning games, which is good. But on the other hand, you're barely beating teams that are just known for defense. So, doing something right, you're getting those 3 points, and you want to come out of those games with the W, right? So, clap, move on. Let's see what happens in the next few matches.
Yeah,
Hey, four
we've seen
shutouts.
it.
I'm good with that, bro.
No, we've seen it time and time again where one game made us not go to playoffs. Right, one tie
Yeah,
made us not go to
and
playoffs.
you know who's up next, right? It's that one game that cost everything because we're playing RSL next,
That's
and
true.
if anybody remembers, there was that one game where it was a draw, and then they got that late goal on that fucking stunner of a goal that they scored. I forgot who it was from some RSL, and that game, that goal was the entire season right there.
Yep. That's nice. Ryan Munoz
And
also says, we need a cam to unlock our offense.
Yep.
I think we all want a cam, bro. Jep the Barber. How bad is Cabral? After yesterday's performance, will Vanny finally accept that he fucked up?
Nope.
Nah, not yet.
Nope.
He won't accept it.
Nah, he's young, man. He's young, dude. Like honestly, I'm gonna stick to the same story. The man's just got to work out more and build some muscle, man. Stop being a little, for lack of better terms, bitch.
And the thing with him right now, man, is gonna be that we need him to get better because if he doesn't get better, nobody's gonna want to buy him. Right?
yeah,
Like we're stuck with him if he can't get better. Like there's no, how the fuck are we gonna offload him?
like
So
right
we need
now,
him better.
if he was to go back to France, he would not go to Ligue 1 for sure. Probably like a mid-table to like low, bottom team in Ligue 2. Uh, the French league is probably looking at him like, man, this guy, he failed it, in MLS. This guy is spoiled goods at this point. And so it's for him, it's, you either do well or bust, man. You got to
Yeah.
keep plugging away until finally something starts to work.
Yeah,
And
The
I
thing
mean,
is
we
with
have
him
him.
is
Sorry,
yeah.
dude, but
go ahead.
we have don't we have him for a cool minute, man? Isn't he signing a
five
contract for like?
5 years.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, we got to work with what we got, homie.
And
Project.
last question from Albertino Morales. Do we give Cabral the same ultimatum we gave Chicha 2 seasons ago?
No, they're two different types of players. Chicha is somebody who has like an amazing resume. He's played for some of the best teams in the world. He's the highest scorer in the history of Mexican football. It's one guy who came at the cusp of his career, and you have somebody who's just barely starting off, and you have no idea, what the road ahead lies for him. Um, so with Chicha, he was going through some personal issues. He was very open about it.
Mhm.
Later on, and he's the kind of professional that he was able to make adjustments and make the commitment and have the maturity to do these things and push forward. Um, but you don't see it from Corbo. He seems like more withdrawn, very quiet, very reserved. So there's no telling if he's gonna open up. I mean, I bet you Chicha's in his ear all the time, right?
Yeah.
Telling him, "Come on, man, blah, 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 blah," yo, Chicha is. He's probably talking his ear off, and who knows if any of that is registering with Cabral. He might be young enough where he just tunes him out.
Yeah, and I mean, Chicha is a good player and role model to learn from. So I think Cabral should take advantage of that. He's young, bro. I mean, we can't. How much shit can we really give him? He's young. I mean, I still feel like he could turn it around this season, and I wish he does. Especially since you guys said there was booze out. You know, we don't want to bore a guy. We want him to
Right.
perform
No,
well and be part
the
of the
thing
crew.
is, man. Even though you say yeah, he's young. I mean, I would say yeah, he's young to Efra, right? I would say that. But when you say yeah, he's young to Cabral, who you're brought in as a designated player, your youngness kind of over, like your the fact that you're a DP oversees your youngness. Like
That is
you're believed to
that
be
is
worth way
exactly
better.
that's the hard part with him. That's the tricky part because he carries a DFE tag. If he was somebody who just came in, like Grant Sear, for example, or Raveloson, and we know Raveloson hasn't been, on point this season. Maybe he just isn't being called to do what he did last season. But
He's not a
you don't hear
DP.
his, yeah, you don't hear him. You don't hear much from him, and so there's not a lot of pressure. There's not that pressure on him, but he's not a DP like you said. So
And we don't need him to score goals. We need him in the field to do his job. We don't need him to be the goal scorer. That's not
yeah,
Revolution's job. That should be Cabral's job. That's Chicha's job. That's the people up top.
yep.
And that does it for the question, gentlemen. Thank you to everybody who submitted questions. You guys are the shit. All right, boys. Award time. Let's
Woo.
fucking go. Let's start with the Game is Off award, the infamous G award, if you will. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Go for it.
I'll go first. I am
Sweet.
gonna say the game is off award goes to none other than Mr. First Sub of the game, Grancer.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah,
I honestly thought he had the worst game he's had in a while, and I actually thought that he was the worst player in the team.
Damn.
I don't know about worst player, but it's
This
been
this
his
game,
worst
I thought
game.
he was the worst player because it wasn't like a tough game, bro. It wasn't like a hard like it was. We had control of the whole freaking thing. I think it was like a 61% whole possession of the whole game. Like that's a lot. It was 60
Mhm.
plus. I'm not really sure what it was, but we controlled the whole damn game, dude. So given with the amount of time we had with the ball, we should have done more. And he tried, but it wasn't clicking for him. So I say he gets the award for me.
I second you on that. Besides the worst player of the game, but yeah, I'll give him the Joe award too. He was really bad.
Damn.
I would have said, yeah, I would have also said Grand Sir, but I'm gonna go back to the thing that Nashville just did a very good job of having him scouted, just like they did with Efra. They limited what he could do on the ball because they know he's predictable. Grand Sir is not as predictable. He keeps plugging away. He's one of the reasons, by the way, that we had that such a high level of possession. So I don't think he had like such a bad game. I just feel like what he normally contributes wasn't there in the final third. It just wasn't. And credit to Nashville. That's just what they do. They muck it up for you. Who I feel that gets a G award though has to be the guy who came in for him was Douglas Costa. He's a DP. Um, think about the Galaxy DPs we've had in the past, and think about the kind of impact they had when they hit the field. Notwithstanding Cabral, because we beat that horse to death already.
Mhm.
But think about the other DPs we've had in the past. They hit the field, immediate impact. Obviously, the first one to come to mind is Zlatan.
Yep.
But some of the other DPs we've had, they make an impact in the field. Even Stevie G, when he first came on those first two games, he was scoring goals and he was making passes before he finally decided, I'm gonna take a break. But um, you don't see it from Costa. I mean, he had that one shot, and then after that, he just kind of disappeared. On that goal by Joveljić, he was just kind of by himself in a corner of the box, asking for service. But there was no way he was going to get the ball at that point because the whole focus of the play was on their side of the field. So good thing Joveljić scored because having to depend on Costa as a scorer in this game, it wasn't going to happen. So I just feel like he's off. He's been off since he got here, and I just really hope that he figures it out, because otherwise it's going to be like what happened with SC Dallas and Denison. That was a huge bust for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that I've seen with Costa, and that from what I've heard, I mean, it's all on the news or whatever. It's if his mood is not straight or if his mood is not right, he's not a good player.
Mm.
Well, he better get fucking in a good mood because he lives in LA.
Hey, he celebrated that goal too, dude. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Yeah.
he likes it. You know, he likes being here and shit.
I'm gonna give it to the dead horse, the wet noodle, Kevin Cabral, man. I know we say this sometimes here that maybe that is his game, so maybe he shouldn't get the award. But we seen him play sometimes with more effort, right? This game, I don't know. His whole demeanor is just like if he's giving up, and it's still early in the season. I hope he's working hard in practice and stuff like that to improve. For this game, yeah, he wasn't it, man. His
And
game
this is
was
after
off.
he scored a goal midweek too.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the best goal, but he still scored, right?
So you would have thought the confidence would be up.
Like one thing I do gotta say, one good thing I do gotta say about Cabral is that I believe it was in the second half, and when we were literally getting countered, I believe it was like he was he was about to take off, bro, and Cabral is like from the top, bro. He tracks back, cuts up, catches up to him, and takes the ball away. If he would have not done that, that guy was gone, bro. Honestly.
Yeah.
So
I do
like
remember that play.
props to him on that, because to come from the top, like bro, he understood the assignment right there, you know?
Yeah. All right, boys. Next one. The honorable mention. The You Got Heart Man. Who wants to take this one first?
I'm gonna give
Okay.
it to Bondi.
Ooh. All right.
I'm gonna give it to Bondi. You know, I'm gonna give him the award that's named after his mentor, Kevin Elgato Hartman.
There it is.
Bondi once again, gets another clean sheet. He has a very clean, industrious game. He didn't expend too much energy. He was well positioned. He came out when he had to. He cut off angles. He read plays that were coming towards him. I mean, Nashville's not that dangerous, but man, if they catch you flat-footed, they'll make you pay. And especially because they counter so much. And he was able to read them well and come out and stop situations before they got out of hand. Um, and a lot of that has to do with his evolution, right? He's learning so much from Kevin Hartman, who was one of the legendary MLS keepers, and I just hope this keeps going. I mean, obviously, he can't get a shot in every game, but the fact that he's learning, he's evolving in front of us. He's going from side duck into goal duck, So
Yeah,
oh
let's
yeah,
go,
man.
Gold Duck.
Let's go, Bondi.
What you got, Tony?
I got one of the players that's he's honestly become one of my favorite players, and he proves himself every time he plays. I gotta give it to Raheem. I think he's awesome, bro. Like he sets the standard for that position, whether it's left back or right back. Like he shows you how to do it, and he's doing it very, very good, man. He's overlapping, choosing the right passes, knows when to stay, knows when to go up. Like he's so smart, dude. Like he understands the game really well, dude. And I really, really like him, and I thank God we got him because he's a great pick.
Hell yeah. Dewey, who you got?
I'm going with Julian. I think he's getting back to where we're used to seeing him. I think this is his best game that we've seen all season. And I just think he's I don't know, he's getting better. He's getting better at what he does, and I like what he's doing. I like that he basically got that hockey assist pretty much for me for the goal, and we're starting to see another side of Julian Araujo that we haven't seen, which is a little bit more of a defender, and I'm okay with it. I like what he's doing now, so at least I like what he did.
I hope he continues this because he didn't play bad this game. I was really happy with his performance. For me, I see a trend here. We're all picking people from the back line, so I'm gonna continue that trend. It's because I always give this person shit. I've been giving him shit on this show since he came here. I'm gonna give it to Sega Siani. Yes, I could have given it to Derek Williams.
Siani?
Yeah.
No.
I
You
could have given
put
it to
some
Williams because of
on that name, man.
I mean, Sega Koulibaly.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Sega
He earned his
See,
name
Koulibaly.
Ali.
back.
Sega
How dare you?
He
You're
earned
so
his name
used to
back.
it.
Yeah, well, because I'm always sitting on him. But yeah, this dude just had an amazing game in that center back position. He was turning players with his big body. Uh, his passes from the back were good. I don't know. Him and Derek Williams have a great understanding in that center back, and I don't know, just that whole defense in general was just on some shit.
That was
Yesterday,
good.
especially with all the possession that we had. It was lovely.
There's something I was thinking about the other day, by the way, echoing because Chewy, you mentioned Julian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to myself because I was thinking like, man, what is it about Julian? I mean, besides you say that, you guys say that he's playing more defensively this year that, being counted on offense. But I was thinking to myself, maybe the fact that he still hasn't broken through as a starting 11 with Mexico has affected his psyche. And I think that maybe that's been affecting him as well because um, I feel like he deserves to be in that starting 11 for the three. Um, and so do a lot of Mexican fans and so a lot of pundits. And maybe the fact that he feels that way, and he's not one to come out and say it, but maybe it feels that way. And the fact that it hasn't happened, and Tata is reluctant to make that change has affected him. And maybe it's affected his performance with his club as well. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah. I hope that he doesn't stay for too long because we need him on the pitch. All right, gentlemen. Now for the prestige. Prestige. The next standing player of the match.
We
Who
all
wants to
know
go
who it is.
first? I think we're all gonna pick the same person.
Just
Yeah.
Human eater. What else? What
the
else?
Shiv Master.
Shiv master. Chess master.
Say it, Brian.
All
Say
that.
it, Brian.
All of that. One
The eater of worlds, man.
eater of worlds. Chicha's BFF.
Chuck Norris's long lost son.
The Serbian Superman.
One Dejan Joveljić. I think we can all agree that he gets the next standing player of the match, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, I think we've said everything that we need to say about this player. But if you guys want to add anything else, this guy's performance.
I just like I've been a big fan of his since he first joined. I think it's a big deal when Fabrizio Romano, makes a post saying that, you've been transferred to somebody because he doesn't mince words. He doesn't like just name just any just average Joe. He actually posted, Serbian international Dejan Joveljić is heading to the LA Galaxy, and I was like, wow, he got Fabrizio Romano actually posted about him. This guy must be a pretty big deal, and I still feel he's criminally underused, but damn when we do get him on the field, even if he doesn't score, just the energy that he brings, that the speed and that hunger he has to try to score, and the fact that he also isn't one to stay up top, like Tony was saying, how about how Cabral ran back on defense to stop that play. This is something that Joveljić normally does. We've seen him do it many times, especially against LAFC. He just loves terrorizing those goats, man. And to see him get this goal, to see him celebrate, man, I love this. This is the stuff of lore that you hear people talking about years from now. Remember that one time, where Joveljić came up and celebrated with the fans. Damn, that was good. This is the stuff that goes down in club legend, and we got to see it in person. For those of us who were at the game and those who were at home, we got to hear about it from Kobe and Joe, and it's something that it's always gonna stick in your mind. This beautiful memory, and props to him, man.
Yeah, dude. He
Joveljić.
scored. Dude, he scored. There was beer flying everywhere, bro.
Beautiful. Golden showers. Damn, wrong show. Anyway, boys, I think we're good. Right? We gave some awards out. We read some questions. We talked a little bit of shit. You guys got anything else to add on before we take off? Is it good?
Let's go Galaxy,
Yeah.
bro.
Let's go, baby. Next game will be against RSL. So everybody is gonna fly out there. Safe travels. Shout out to Eddie for being at Coachella right now. You fucking bitch. And Edgar, you were saying?
I was going to say this is going to be a pretty good test for the LA Galaxy. RSL is one of those plucky teams. You never know what to expect from them. They're mid-table, and they could either really, really hurt you, or they could just lay over. Last season, they hurt us bad, really bad. I think this is an opportunity to hurt them back at home, screw them, and take some points that are really going to help us down at the very end of the season when we have Houston and stupid decision day again.
I
Yeah,
hate
I'm
that shit as well.
I'm curious. I'm curious how Costa is gonna take the altitude. How
Yes.
some of the players are gonna take the altitude because it's not easy playing in RSL. So
Yeah, and I hate going to that stadium, dude. The one time that we went, fuck, that shit fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And we got our ass beat nasty. I was like, oh, no, I'm never coming back here again.
At least not driving. Fuck the.
At least not driving.
Fuck the driving.
It was like a 9-hour drive, right?
I don't even.
Fuck, 10 hours, I think, dude.
I
That
don't
shit
even
was
Yeah,
remember.
not the biz.
You guys like to suffer, eh?
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, for everybody in the chat, support this video with a like. Help us with the algorithm. If you guys are listening to this later in the Apple Pod or Spotify, make sure you give that a like. Also, we encourage you guys to come to the live show so you guys can interact in the live chat. Those are always lit. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as _loves or Bryant Nags. Tony?
You can find me on the socials, any social for that matter, under Tony_Royale. And yeah. Go, Chewy.
Jäger?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter as Edgar Nags, not to be confused with Eddie Nags again.
Who is in Coachella right now? Tweet him.
Who's Coachella?
And tell him
Damn
he's
him.
lame.
I just want to say thanks to everybody who came out and said hi after the game. I was hanging out in the ACB section and then later the large. When people came up and said hi, I mentioned on Twitter, some of you I've known for years. I still don't know your names, but damn it, when we see each other, it's like family, hugs and high fives. So, love y'all.
Yes. Chewy?
You guys can find me on pretty much all my social media as Chavez JA, Chavez Ha. Pretty easy, pretty simple. I'm there.
There it is. From Bryant, Tony, Edgar, Chiasso, we are out of here. Let's go. Keep on nagging. 3 more points, baby.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Keep on nagging.
Keep on
Nagging.